There we go. I think we're live. We should pull it up on my phone.
Okay.
Just so we're for sure.
Let's try this out, guys. We have not gone live on YouTube in so long. Things are changing. Here I am. Cool.
You got turns.
Here I am. Cool. Oh, there's like a little delay.
Okay. We watch comments. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, so we're live. I think we were live earlier, like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But we were also live on Instagram, so sorry if you were there. We wanted to just get on YouTube and go live just because it's been so long since we've been on YouTube live. We haven't really had that much time to make YouTube videos either, so I think that was part of the reason why we wanted to hop on here and do it. We also, through Instagram, we were going to do a Q&A, so we asked for people to send questions. So we have a ton of questions. This is like 3 months ago. We've been so busy we haven't been able to do a video, so we thought that we would do some of those questions on today's YouTube live.
Yeah, you guys had asked, and unfortunately we never answered.
Yeah.
So we're making up for the past 3 months tonight, right now, with some questions.
So if we do that, I want to be able to talk to people that are commenting, and the questions are on my phone. So let us get us set up. But how have you guys been? We've not really been on YouTube that much. Now that YouTube has stories, we plan on using the story feature on YouTube.
Oh yeah, PJ was playing around with that yesterday.
Yeah, so we just found out about it yesterday. I don't know when they started that, but that's really cool. Is the sound off?
Sound is off. Here are the things. Okay, so we have from Austin, Texas. We have Indiana. How about them Cowboys? The only Cowboys, Alistair's trying to get up here. The only Cowboys we know are from the Western movie that we watched last night.
Let's see. Michael Dalton said, "Why do you go by PJ, not Paul?" So my full name is Timothy Paul Jasper, and it was too long of a name, and my dad's name is Timothy, but he goes by Tim. So my parents nicknamed me PJ, and it just kind of stuck. So I've always been PJ ever since I was little.
Cute little PJ.
Fort Lauderdale. I miss you. I miss your curly hair. I guess that's your hair.
Is that me?
Hey from Michigan. It's 3 a.m. where I live, and I'm watching you guys. Oh, thanks for watching. Guatemala. Hey from Nashville.
Aww.
First time catching a live video. It's been a long time since we've done a live on YouTube. Hello from Oak Harbor, Washington. Hello from Sweden. Hello from Illinois, North Carolina,
Michigan,
Western North Carolina. Actually, we live close to West North Carolina. We live close to Murphy, North Carolina. Maybe about 45 minutes to an hour.
Boston, Canada. Oh my gosh. 2
people from California. Hey, Adam.
Blake, yes, you should be doing your homework, but we appreciate
NYC.
You watching us live.
You guys are raw about HGTV. You know, honestly, I think everything happens the way it was supposed to. We talk about all the time how much hard work goes into filming a TV show, and we honestly lost so much sleep. It was so much work. It was so hard. It was stressful, and I really think things work out the way that they are supposed to, because I honestly don't even know. It was a fun experience, and it definitely opened up a lot of doors for us, but it was tough. It was really tough. And what we do now is so much more fun. We get to interact.
That's what I was going to say.
We get to interact more with people, and when you sign on with a company or a network, you kind of lose control in the type of material that you can release, because the network owns that ownership. So it would also limit what we would be able to do if we were signed with a production company and a network. So yeah. I think for right now we're happy with just doing social media and being able to kind of control the content that we put out.
Exactly. Someone wanted to let you know that the S in Illinois is silent. Did you say Illinois?
Probably.
Aww. So we have Toronto here. We have Florida. We were just in Florida. My favorite state, New York. Oh my gosh. Did you guys see that? Alistair wants to, yep. Alistair wants to be in the live too. Salem, Oregon. I've always wanted to go to Oregon.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we get down to it? We've kind of done some introductions. Why don't we start answering some questions?
Let's do a quick intro just for new people that don't really know who we are. So, my name is PJ.
Yep, and my name is Thomas.
And we are husbands, and we live in the state of Tennessee, so we live in the U.S. It is in the South. It's
a small little town, and the cool thing, which wasn't so cool growing up, but the cool thing is we were actually born and raised here. We went to the same high school. We didn't go there at the same time because PJ is a little bit older than me, but yeah, we've been here our whole life. Our family's here. I think we both hated the thought of always staying here when we were growing up, but now we really love it. It's home, and it's where we belong.
Yeah, and we've been together for
8 years.
And we've been married for...
You tell me.
4 years.
No! Oh my God.
Almost 4 years.
No, we just had 3 years. We've been married for 3 years. Okay, I promise we're married.
I don't know why you do that. He knows that I'm not good with dates and remembering like how long anything is. I'm the type of person that if I'm telling a story, I over exaggerate. So I'm like, if something happened 6 months ago, I'll be like, a year and a half ago.
Yeah. I always like to use the word embellish.
Yeah.
You embellish.
It's not that I embellish. It's just that I have no track of time.
And no concept.
Yeah. So.
But no, we've been married for 3 years. Honest mistake. That's okay.
Yeah.
When's my birthday?
Your birthday is in March.
Okay. It is in March. But anyways, what else? What other introductions?
Yeah. I guess let's talk about what we've been up to recently, and then we'll go into some of the questions for the Q&A.
Okay.
So, it's kind of been a crazy year for us. I'd say about a year and a half ago, social media started kind of taking over as far as like, it was becoming more and more of a job. We started doing different things and traveling and different partnerships, which we really enjoy. I guess after the show was finalized, that picked up. So, this year has just been kind of a whirlwind of travel. We've done a lot of travel this year. We've done a lot of partnerships, made a lot of fun new connections.
And friends. That's one of the most fun parts of this whole thing. Lots of new friends.
Yeah.
Near and far.
And then last week we went on a cruise with Celebrity Cruises. It was a partnership that we did with them. We did actually a few last year with them, but that's what we've been up to recently. Thomas is hoping to quit his job in the near future.
I went part-time at my 9 to 5 back in March to help more with social media. Like PJ said, it's really become a full-time job, I would say. And so we're having fun with that, with traveling.
Somebody said, when you say a year and a half ago social media took over, do you mean 6 months?
Oh my gosh, good one. Okay. No, that he is actually...
I'm pretty accurate on that one.
He is accurate with that one, so that was a good question though. Okay. So, who cooks as I see the pan behind you? We both cook. I think that I'm coming into my own, because before PJ was the only one that cooked when we first got together, up until probably like 7 years or a year ago.
Yeah. So I would say the beginning till about a year and a half ago, I did all the cooking or most of the cooking. Thomas would cook for me every once in a while for like special occasions.
Mm-hmm.
And then Thomas has recently developed a passion for it, I would say. You actually, it seems like you enjoy cooking.
I do enjoy, it's kind of a hard situation if I'm being honest, because I do genuinely enjoy cooking. I'm just very slow at it. So what's normally would take someone like 30 minutes to cook, it takes me an hour. So I think it's just I'm trying to get better at it.
That was Drew Brown.
Yeah, I saw that. Good one, Drew. We know Drew, so it's all good. Let's see.
So, do you want to go into the questions?
Yeah, well, why don't we start with an easy one?
Oh, you have
that right there.
Who wakes up first?
So the first question is, who wakes up first? I wake up first. Whenever I'm working in my job, I naturally have to get up very, very early. I get up around 5:45 to 6 a.m. And then on my off days, I still like to get up relatively early because I enjoy the mornings. PJ loves his sleep, so he sleeps in a little bit later than me, but I always have the coffee ready for him whenever he gets up, so that's a plus for him.
Yeah. So I'm a licensed real estate agent in Tennessee, and most of my work is done after like regular business hours because most people that want to look at houses after 5 o'clock or 5 p.m. And so most of my work is from 5 p.m. on. Like I've been in the office at like 11 o'clock at night before, so I get my sleep in the morning and then I work later in the day.
Yeah, there's really no reason for you to be up super early. All right, so moving on to the next question. At what point did you realize, hey, this is real, this is love, I want to commit to this person for the rest of my life? I think for me, I don't know, I think that kind of happened twice for me. So I think the first time I was really young, when we first got together, I was 19, and I remember we were only together for about a month, and I had my wisdom teeth taken out, and I was such a pathetic mess. I was pitiful on the couch, and PJ was there with me the entire weekend, taking care of me and nursing me back to health, and I remember thinking right then, I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him. Then fast forward 4 years, we broke up. We were separated for like 4 to 5 to 6 months, 4 to 5 months, something like that. I think it was about 4 months, right?
Yeah,
4 or 5? 4 months. We were separated for about 4 months. We weren't together. And then whenever we got back together, that's whenever I realized again, okay, if we're getting back together, we're doing this for the long run. I want to be with this man forever. I want to have his name. I want to have his kids, etc., etc. And so that's when it happened for me. What about you?
I think, mine was always like a gradual thing from the very beginning. When we first got together, I'd just gotten out of a really bad relationship, so I was hesitant to even get into a relationship because we started talking and hanging out like 4 days after that relationship ended. So I think it took me like 6 months just to kind of get myself back on track and be in the mindset that, hey, maybe this is something worth investing more time into, because we were hanging out. I enjoyed my time with Thomas. He was younger. At the time, he was only 19. I was 24. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of hesitant about the age difference as well, because my ex was also younger than me, but he was very immature, whereas Thomas was very mature for his age. So I think mine was just kind of gradual and built up over time.
Yeah.
Somebody said, I've seen a video with you guys vacationing with Justin and Nick, as well as the two dad guys. How did your friendships and vacationing together develop? I assume through media connections. Yeah, so Justin and Nick are actually two of our I would say they're our best friends. Mm-hmm. We met through Instagram and just kind of started talking through like messaging back and forth and commenting on each other's stuff. And then they actually came down to Tennessee to visit friends in Nashville. So they stopped at our house on their way to their friend's house. And then shortly after that was when we did, that was the Mexico trip.
Yeah.
Which is the trip that you're talking about, when we went with probably which was Matt and Bo.
Love them.
The Dad's Not Daddies, Devin and Rob. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time that we had all hung out as a group, and it was the most fun. I think we're going to try to do another trip like that in 2019.
We have to. That was such a highlight this year.
Yeah, so it just developed over social media, basically.
Oh, wow. They all came in. Hey, Steven. Speaking of having PJ's babies, do you guys have thoughts on how you're going to approach having kids? Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
Steven.
We have talked about kids for such a long time. We actually started talking about kids in the very beginning, which was way too early. I would say like the first 2 weeks we started talking about kids, because we at the time both wanted kids, and that continues. We still both want kids. For a gay couple, it's hard to get kids. I mean, it's an expensive cost. You have to put a lot of thought into it. So you have foster care that you could do, foster to adopt, just regular adoption. And then surrogacy. We're interested in all of those avenues, and we've spoken to multiple people about all of those.
Yeah, earlier this year we got very, very into it. PJ was on the phone every other day with a different company. We haven't talked about that. But it's definitely in the future.
We plan to do a whole YouTube video about kids in the near future. I think we kind of put a pause on kids because we've done so much traveling this year. We know it's just not a good time to even look into it, so we kind of held off a little bit. I think if it slows down some to where we're not traveling as much, we'll probably look back into it. I would say within the next 5 years, we want to get that started.
I would say within the next 2 years, we want to get that started. Yeah. Okay, so
let's see if there's any other ones. Is there a target date to open your development at the land? So why don't we give you guys an update for those of you that have been following us on the land. If you've been following us for a while, last December we bought 20 acres on the Ocoee River, which we intended to start a cottage community and an event space, like a venue for weddings and stuff. We still plan on doing that, but we found another piece of land that is perfect for what we want to do. The problem with the land that we bought is that because it is on the river, the majority of the 20 acres is in a flood zone, so anything that we build has to be elevated. And I don't like the look of elevated stuff like that. It's kind of like a beach house you'd have to build up, and it's just not the vision that I had for it. So we found this other land that we've been talking about. We made an offer on it, but it got rejected because it was low. And we'll probably make another offer this month, I would say. But the land that we are looking into already has like a 6,000 square foot building on it. So in that case, we'd just be renovating it to make it what we want, and then we would build the cottages as we go. It has beautiful views of the mountains, and we're still planning it. We're hoping that we could get started on it by spring or maybe summer whenever the weather dries up some, because it's not a great time to build in the winter just because of the mud and muck.
Rain. Ugh.
Yeah.
Rains a lot here in the winter in Tennessee. Okay. So, here's an interesting question. How has your social life changed since being married, and how have you adjusted appropriately? I think I can speak for both of us whenever I say it has changed in the fact that we just want to be home all the time.
I don't think that changed. I think we've always stayed home.
Well, the thing is, we didn't live together until we were engaged. So
Which was how long into it?
Which was 4 years into our relationship.
Yeah.
So for the first 4 years, we did not live together. We moved in a month after we got engaged. We were engaged for 10 months and then got married. So I don't know. I mean, I would say, how do you think our social life has changed?
I feel like after we got married, because we live in the South, we did not have a large group of friends in the LGBT community. And I think after maybe a year of being married and spending most of that year at home with each other, we had talked about wanting more friends, especially in the LGBTQ community. And I would say that we kind of hit our goal by going out and meeting people and just getting to know people and making friendships. So I would say that's the biggest thing. I think we took an initiative to get more friends and a diverse, you know.
It was one of our New Year's resolutions.
It was, yeah.
And we fulfilled it.
Somebody said, yeah, who should I address
So this
that?
is a good question that someone actually asked here on YouTube. They said, how do you feel about product promotion and influencers in social media?
Yeah.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, so I think in the beginning when we started doing promotions on our Instagram or sponsored posts, we kind of got a lot of kickback from it, from people that had been following us from the beginning, and they felt like maybe we were selling out. But the thing is, to continue to create content over and over again and be able to afford to do that, I mean, it turns into a full-time job, especially when it comes to like YouTube videos or any type of video production stuff. In the beginning and middle, we were doing a lot of video content, so we were making YouTube videos and we were editing them, and that's hours of work.
A lot of time goes into, I mean, believe it or not, or, I don't know, just sharing your life online.
Yeah.
And so it turned into a full-time job. We didn't plan on it like, you know, from those of you who've been following us since the beginning, like PJ said, we never set out to create an Instagram or YouTube for it to turn into a full-time job. But it just kind of happened, and we went with it, and we said we will roll with it until it's over. And so we are just fortunate that you guys are still here with us, because we love what we do. We love sharing our life with you, and our ups and our downs and our failures and our triumphs, because we are firm believers, and you've heard us say this a million times. Whenever you share your life with someone, or whenever you share your life with people online or however, it kind of makes the world feel a little smaller, and it makes us not feel so alone out there, because the world is a big place. But once you start sharing those differences, you realize that we're all more alike than you think. So that is our whole spiel on that. Okay, this is a fun one. Do you follow a certain diet? And if so, how often do you have cheat meals?
I'm going to try to address this one thing real quick.
Okay.
So you can go ahead with that.
Okay, so we don't follow a certain diet, I'm sad to say. I wish that we did. I wish that we were more disciplined when it came to that, but we don't. I think we try and eat vegetables if we can, but like earlier, like 20 minutes ago, we were stuffing our face with like 3 cartons of ice cream. But yeah, I think that if we had to choose a diet, if I would love to get on one, I would love to do the Mediterranean diet. I would love to do that. So
somebody said, love your sweatshirt. Are you planning on releasing more merch in 2019? So we just dropped off a new shipment of sweatshirts that we'll be probably posting next week. And I'd say that's going to be the last shipment for 2018. We have some new things coming out in 2019 that we're excited about. We're working on that now. I would say probably maybe end of January, beginning of February before we release that.
And she said, yes, PJ, get him out.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking.
I think he's gone. I don't know.
Who's the more outgoing one?
I would say that we both. No, I don't know. I think we're both equally
in different ways.
In different ways, yeah.
I'm terrible with small talk, or I'm so awkward. PJ is always like cringing. I cringe myself because I'm so awkward with like, hey, how's it going? How's the weather? And PJ is really good at just like making conversation up out of thin air, and it always impresses me. But I like to be around people, I think, a lot. Like large groups of people in big settings, whereas PJ kind of gets anxiety.
I definitely have anxiety when it comes to certain things. I think it's a mind thing for me because there's some situations where I would feel like I should have anxiety that I don't, and then vice versa, and it will just come up out of nowhere. But it just depends. I like talking to large crowds versus.
He's good at that too.
I don't like smaller crowds. I don't do as well with smaller crowds as I feel like I do with larger crowds. But
and you're good at that.
Somebody said.
This is a good one.
Yeah. So Michael Dalton said, "Is there any parts of your life that you refuse to show to the public?" I feel like we're pretty much an open book. We try not to spend too much time on negativity. So when we get a lot of negative feedback on different things, we try not to focus on that. Also, I feel like our sex life has kind of always been
that's what I was going to say too.
Private for us. I think it's just something that we get a lot of questions about it, and it is something that maybe one day we'll talk about, but I think we are pretty private when it comes to like our sex life and what else?
I think the specifics of our, everyone, we're very open that, we argue just like the next couple. I think that there's something to be said about getting too specific about an argument. I think then it becomes kind of like, what are your reasons for sharing those specifics? Just the fact that you guys know that we argue and that we're not a perfect couple, I think that that is enough. So I don't think that we'll ever share the nitty-gritty details of our arguments because, like our sex life, I don't think that's anyone's business but ours, but just know they exist.
Kind of going on that same question, How do you juggle what to post on social media versus what to keep private? Just today I debated with a friend that marriage proposals should be private. Posting after the fact is okay, but he disagrees. So one of our big arguments was when Thomas proposed to me. It was before we had an Instagram account, and he had a separate Tumblr account that was pretty big, and he immediately posted our engagement photo on Tumblr without talking to me. I mean, that night. Mm-hmm. And I was this was before Instagram, so it was before we shared the majority of our life, so I wasn't used to it at the time. And I was really upset and somewhat kind of devastated. I felt like it took away from the engagement. So I would agree with you. I think that maybe if you get engaged, maybe take some time to just like enjoy that with you and your fiance mm-hmm. and your family, and then maybe later you can announce it if you want to do that on social media. But
we had some friends that did that. They got engaged and they waited a long time before announcing it online, and it's kind of like they kept it to themselves, and I think we both really respected them.
Yeah.
Someone said, what's the hardest part of being married? I think you guys are just amazing. Thank you. I think the hardest part of being married is, I don't know, just sharing a life with someone, and with that comes compromise, listening, understanding, reasoning. It's another thing that we've always kind of said is that, you're two separate people from separate backgrounds, and no matter if you grew up in the same town like we did or you're from different parts of the world, you're still two people trying to make one life work, and that's never easy, no matter who you are or where you come from. So it's something that we are constantly working on every single day, but I think the most important thing is to never stop working on it, because as soon as you do, that is whenever it goes downhill and it's time to call it quits.
Drew said, in your earlier days, Thomas seemed much more outgoing than PJ, and I feel like in the last couple months, PJ's personality has really started to shine a lot more online.
You think? I think you've always been the more outgoing one online.
I don't know. I feel like we're both pretty. I do agree with. It takes me a long time to warm up to people, and in real day-to-day life, when I've become really close friends with people, I would say
he's silly.
I'm really silly in the sense that it's hard to get me to talk normal like this. Like I use weird voices and
funny words.
Thomas gets annoyed with me all the time and says, "I need you to be serious for a second because I can't talk to you right now because I'm being too silly for him."
Crazy.
So I would agree, Drew, because I do probably warm up more so after I get to know people, especially like when I really get to know someone and feel comfortable around that person.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think you've always been the more outgoing one on stories. I look at our earlier YouTube videos and I kind of cringe at myself because I'm just not as naturally good in front of the camera as you are, I don't think.
I think
I've gotten better over the years, but you definitely are very, very good.
I think it's just in your head.
Well,
okay, why don't we pull one from here?
Sure. Okay, so you want to talk about that?
What is it?
Basically, do we follow?
It's up to you.
Sure. Okay, so this question says, you mentioned Thomas going to Catholic school, but aside from that, I'm curious if and how religion played into your lives, and if it complicated or influenced either of you coming out. Okay, so yeah, I went to Catholic school for half my life. The decision to come out had nothing to do with religion. My family is religious, however, they're not too religious, and neither are PJs, to where that would get in the way of their beliefs on sexuality. So I can probably answer for both of us that it didn't influence our decision to come out. None of our family has thankfully held religion against us. None of the ones that we really care about anyways.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we are religious. We have our own beliefs and our own relationship with God, and we don't spend too much time addressing that though, because it's not a major, huge part of our life, I don't think.
Somebody said, Somebody said on here, do you personally manage your Facebook page? So currently we manage everything that we have. So we do have a Facebook page, we have Instagram, YouTube obviously, we have a Tumblr account, Twitter, but we manage all of our social media accounts.
Yeah, so if you ever email us or tweet, Facebook, DM, Instagram, anything, it's always us responding to you. If you write us, like for example, right here on our fridge, we have a letter. We are the ones that are going to be responding to you.
Yeah. We actually have a few.
Yeah, we have a couple on our fridge. We also have a huge basket kept in a safe space where all of you guys' letters are to us, and we love them dearly. We will respond to you if you write us to our P.O. box.
Somebody said, what about the rats in the basement? So I kind of fixed that problem because I was storing the dog food in the basement, and because I was storing it down there, it was creating the rat problem. I removed that, and then shortly after that, Alistair started going down into the basement, and I think they could smell that he had been down there, and we have not heard them since I moved the dog food and since Alistair went down there.
Thank God.
Did either of you vote for Donald Trump? No.
No, we did not vote for Donald Trump. You know, that brings up another point that
we don't, well, going back to like what we don't share on social
we're not
media.
super political online. We have started to be, I don't know if political is the right word. We've started to be more aware of the political climate, I guess, around us. And a lot of the issues that we have spoken up on Instagram or Twitter are more of a human rights issue, in our opinion, more so than a political one. It transcends politics, and it goes into what we believe is right for everyone. Hey, Alistair. You might jump up here.
Somebody said, tell us about how you propose to each other. I'll let you do that.
Okay. We both proposed to each other. I proposed first on Christmas because I knew it was PJ's favorite holiday. So, Christmas 2014, my whole family, my mom's entire family, all 5 of her brothers and sisters came down with all of their kids, so all of my cousins. We spent it at my brother's house, and PJ was in Cleveland. My brother lives in Chattanooga. He was 30 minutes away in Cleveland. And so I was begging PJ to come to Chattanooga. I was like, please just come. And he's like, oh, I don't feel like driving all that way. And I was like, I have to give you your Christmas present. And he was like, well, why don't you come here and give it to me? And I was like, listen, if you never do anything for me again in my entire life, please just come to Chattanooga. I promise you. And so I think you kind of had an idea.
I think at that point I realized that there was going to be something. I didn't know what, but I knew it, yeah.
So he gets there, all the lights are turned off. I make my family hide upstairs. I have, oh my gosh.
Hey, baby.
Jeez, he always does that. I had a bunch of teacup candles starting from the front door leading all the way back out to the back porch. And whenever PJ got out to the back porch, I was there. I strung up some Christmas lights. I had our song playing. And I wrote him a little something on a piece of paper that I read to him. And then I got down on one knee and I asked him to marry me. And he said yes. I think I was crying. I don't think you were crying, but I think I was.
I know, I definitely teared up.
Did you? I was emotional.
And then Drew said, why did you guys both propose? I feel like I wanted it the same to happen.
I want the same to happen with whoever I end up with, but don't think I would ever thought of that on my own.
I think for me it was something that I'd always hoped that one day I could marry a man, and then, you know, envisioning myself marrying a man, I always kind of envisioned asking that man to marry me. And so for me, I feel like I needed to like go through that emotion of like, I knew obviously that he was going to say yes since he had asked me already, but I kind of wanted to go through the same steps, and like, there's something about getting down on your knee and proposing, and it's just, I don't know.
Well, it's such a special moment, why wouldn't you want to live it twice, if you can?
Thomas, were you afraid that PJ was going to say no?
No. I knew that he would say yes. Actually, I was like 80%, 90% sure he would say yes. Whenever I proposed to him, we had just gotten back together. We had maybe only been together a month at that point, after we had broken up. And I was hoping that he still wanted to spend forever with me. I was about 80% sure.
Let's see.
Let's see. We got engaged in 2014 at Disneyland. I was stunned, and he was like, "You weren't that excited about it." Afterward, I came home and cried off and on for 2 days. Aw, I know people show their excitement and their love in different ways. So, if someone gets upset about it, it's really the person who got upset's fault because they had expectations, and that is another thing that you should almost never have in marriage are expectations, because a lot of times you will get let down. And I don't mean never have expectations in the general sense, but whenever you start having huge expectations, that can get you into trouble.
So you guys put up a lot of Christmas decorations. Will you do a Christmas decor video? Love your style. Thank you.
Aww.
I used to put up a ton of Christmas decorations, and over the years I've gotten lazy and I don't put up as much. We always put up a tree, and we always do some type of garland
with big bulb lights.
Last year we did lights on the exterior of our house, like the big ones, but we didn't do those this year. We do have lights out there, but just not many.
Yeah.
And probably not a decor video, just because we didn't put up that much stuff.
Yeah, it would be like a 30-second video. Evan, by the way, we will definitely let you know next time we're in Detroit. I had no idea that that's where you lived. That's crazy. Also living in the Bible Belt, my hubby and I were wondering, how do you guys meet other LGBTQ couples / people?
I guess for us it's a little bit easier than what it would have been if we weren't in the public eye, because we get people that will message us randomly saying that they either live close or are gonna be in the area, but I mean we've connected so much through social media with other people. I'd say that'd be a good way for you living in the Bible Belt. I know it can be tricky finding friends, but
online is usually the best place.
Yeah.
To find, I think. Okay, this is a question from the Q&A. What is the thing you two most admire in each other?
For me, I admire that Thomas is so kind to people. He really is one of those people that whenever you become friends with him, he's a great friend. It's something I admire about him because he puts so much work into his friendships with his friends and his family that you truly are lucky to be one of his friends. So that'd be mine.
That's so sweet. Well, my thing, and it's something that I've admired about PJ from the beginning, is how hard of a worker he is. Whenever he wants something or has his mind set on something, he puts 110% into it, and he doesn't stop until he accomplishes it. And that's with everything. And that goes with houses, that goes with his job, that goes with us even. Alistair, I'm so sorry. He's trying to get into potted plants. He has a really bad problem lately.
It's that one.
I think he's not in it. He's good. I'll keep his eye on the wooden thing. So anyways, yeah, he's just a really hard worker, and I love that about him.
Checking in from Virginia Beach. My sister actually lives in Virginia Beach.
Are you Shawn Mendes fans?
Yes, since the very beginning.
PJ is. I just think he's cute.
Is PJ still involved with real estate sales? Yes, I would say that still my number one job is real estate. I don't know how many deals I did this year, but I did more deals this year than last year. It was because last year we were filming the show for part of the year, like a couple months out of it, so it slowed me down with real estate. But yeah, real estate still is what pays the bills.
Alistair, now he's eating the dirt. Okay, do you guys feel any pressure? This is a question on YouTube. Someone said, do you guys feel any pressure with the gay community as far as like body image, being fit, etc.? I know I get caught up in like wanting to lose weight and not eat so much junk food, etc. So yeah, just to be blunt and to be honest, yeah, I think we do feel pressure. You know, there's this idea that to be successful or whatever in the gay community, that you have to have a six-pack and you have to drive the nicest car and go on yachts and vacations and this and we are very much, obviously, in the Instagram world. We're always on our phones, we're always on Instagram, so we are constantly exposed to that. And I think that from time to time we do feel pressure. We look at other people's bodies and, wonder, or kind of wish that we had those bodies. I know I do.
I don't.
You don't?
I mean,
I think from time to time I do. I don't think it's something that I dwell on day to day, but I would be lying if I didn't look and be like, oh, dang it, I should not have had that chocolate chip cookie last night. But you're much better about...
Well, I don't try to let what somebody else has going on affect my day to day.
I try not to, too. It's hard, though. So you don't do that at all?
I mean,
I've never looked at like Instagram and be like, oh crap, I wish that I looked.
I think if anything, I may look at myself and be like, ooh, that wasn't there,
Well, we wrote a blog about that. That the only person that you should be comparing yourself to is the person that you were yesterday. So it's something that we try and practice what we preach. But I know I would be lying if I didn't say that. Sometimes I do compare myself, and it's horrible. But I've definitely gotten better about it over the years. Do you guys show PDA?
I'm not very affectionate. It's just naturally I'm not. My parents weren't in front of me, so I haven't been. And I know that's probably hard for Thomas because his family is very affectionate. He's very affectionate, but we don't show PDA too much, especially because we live in the South. I don't think it would be that accepted anyways.
It just wouldn't be a good feeling for us or anyone else.
But to be honest, even if I was straight and in a straight relationship, I still wouldn't show PDA. It's just something
Just not comfortable with it. Yeah.
I don't care too much about it. I like PDA in different settings. Like if we're at home watching a movie or...
Well, that's not PDA.
What would that be? Like I'm saying...
PDA is like public
display. Oh, okay. Well then, yeah. But if we were at home watching a movie with friends and stuff, I would obviously be okay with that. But like needing to hold hands in public.
Yeah.
I don't have that need.
We've never done that, and
well, we did once.
we don't know. Okay, so I will say no, that's true. So that brings up a good point, and we wrote about this in the blog before. We do show PDA sometimes whenever we are in bigger cities.
Oh, that's true. When we went to San Francisco, that was one, and it was nice. We did enjoy it there
because it's not something that we do every single day. So whenever we get the chance to do it, it's like, oh my gosh, like we're on vacation. It's a little treat. It's nice. So we don't do it at home though. You guys seem so proper and polite. Do you guys ever swear or get crazy? LOL.
I do swear, especially when I'm joking, and I also swear when I'm angry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I don't think that's not a part of my personality that I am too proud of. I don't think it's completely horrible, but there are worse things that could be done. But I do, when I cut up with people, I definitely swear.
Yeah.
Maybe too much.
We don't swear on social media because that's not the time or the place for it. But I think in our everyday life, we'll say a couple words every now and then, and especially when we're with our friends, we'll joke, but it's not a huge part of our vocabulary.
Yeah.
Let's see. Robert Hall said, being snowed in from the storm gave us the opportunity to binge watch even more of you guys today. And we think you guys portray a great image of two beautiful men in love. This world needs more of that.
Aw, thanks, Robert.
Robert, you hit us right in the feels.
Do you love Kesha?
So
I think you love Kesha.
I love Kesha. Her new album, y'all, every song is good.
Yeah.
You like Kesha.
I like Kesha. She wouldn't be like,
yeah.
I wouldn't. I can honestly say I've never went to Spotify or Pandora and search to listen to a song.
I probably did back in 2010 whenever she first came out. But no, I've always loved Kesha. I've always loved her songs. And I think she's always had a great voice. And this album, she really showcased it.
What else?
So, oh my God, Kesha is my favorite. Yes. What's your favorite Kesha song? I have a couple. Blind from her first album is amazing.
I did like her most. That song that came out while she was still in that lawsuit. What was that one?
Pray?
Yeah, Pray.
Praying? Wait.
Something.
Pray. Yeah, Praying. Pray. It's Pray. That's off her new album. Learn to Let Go, Godzilla. All of them. Spaceship. So good.
Okay, what else? It's on the top.
Okay. Okay, this is a good one. So this is a question from the earlier Q&A, and it says, what do you tell young gay people when they feel like they can't find someone to love like you guys did? So it's important to remember that each person finds love at a different time in their life.
And it's a constant struggle until you get to that.
For sure. It's just something that I think us as gay people and as people of the LGBT community, it's just one of those things that we have to bear until society changes as a whole. But I was 19 until I found PJ. And you experienced love earlier, but you know, I feel like that's a little bit later in life than, I mean, all of my friends in high school were dating at 13 and, you know, we're in love and this, and I didn't find that man until I was 19. And PJ, you didn't date until you were 20.
Yeah, my first boyfriend, I was 20, almost 21, like a couple weeks from turning 21, or a couple months, I guess, from turning 21. So, yeah, I went through a period from like maybe 19 to 21 where I just didn't date at all because I knew I was gay, but I wasn't ready to come out, and I felt bad for dating girls and like putting them through what was the point of that? So I just stopped dating for a bit.
So basically, don't give up hope. If you haven't found that person yet, they will come. Everything comes in time. Just be patient and know that they're out there for you. That's what we would say.
So somebody said, did Malala say anything that stands out or inspirational that you took away? She didn't actually get to talk that much. She did do a speech. It was very short, and it was more so about being honored to be the godmother on the ship. So I don't think she really had a chance. Andrew Day performed, and it was amazing. She was so talented, yeah. And she sang, wasn't lip syncing, and it was amazing.
But I think that everything Malala says and stands for is just...
They had a reel of...
video reel of all of her accomplishments and why she was the youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner. And I mean, even her speech, like PJ said, it was short, but it was inspiring, and it was just basically how if one girl can change the world, imagine what 130 million girls could do. And I think that's the main thing that we really took away, is that no matter where you are or where you're from, if you believe and you work hard enough, you can help change the world.
Somebody said, what's your favorite grocery store? We don't have many options in the town that we live in. The nicest grocery store in our town is Publix, and we shop at Walmart just because we can go in and go out and get everything that we need in one stop.
Yeah, we have a local one called Cook's. It's really cute. I think it's cute, but it's pretty pricey. Good night, Robert.
Your interior seasonal decorating is always so great. Do you do the same level outdoors at your home? So I would say probably not as much outside, just because we spend so much time inside, and the backyard is pretty much just for the dogs, the bigger dogs that we have, and then our front yard is tiny.
Like very small.
Barely any grass. So we don't do much decorating. We'll always have a seasonal wreath on our door, and we'll do a fall. We always do like fall decorations, and then maybe a little bit of Christmas decorations, and then for spring and summer, it's just a wreath on the door.
Exactly. Where do Alistair and the dogs sleep at night?
So the big dogs, we have a basement in our house that we don't ever show you guys, but the big dogs come in at night and sleep in the basement, and then the little dogs and Alistair sleep in our laundry room, which we also do not show you guys, but we may be doing a refresh in our laundry room in the next month or two.
Well, because...
I'm not show you guys there.
We never show it because it's technically not finished. We never finished it.
Well, it just doesn't have cabinets.
Right.
It's got everything in it. It's just we didn't build cabinets around our washer and dryer.
Yeah.
It's finished.
It's not finished in the way that we intended it to originally be.
Will y'all be returning to Celebrity Edge for an Atlantis cruise? So when we were on the cruise ship, we actually had dinner with our contact with the Celebrity Edge, and they had mentioned possibly some stuff for 2019. I don't know.
We would love to.
Yeah, we would love to for sure, but I don't know. We'll see how 2019 looks.
Yeah.
It's 4 a.m. now. I have an exam at 8 a.m. and I don't care. I just want to watch. Aww.
Mohammed.
Well, we'll say this so you can watch it tomorrow if you want to go to bed.
I know, I'm yawning too all of a sudden.
Oh, we've been on here for almost an hour. I think we're going to cut it off at 9, just so an hour long live is pretty long. So
long. You know, if we do this in the future, we probably will keep them a little shorter just so they're easier to watch.
Yeah, I would say 30 minutes would be good.
15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I think.
Maybe what we'll do is we'll do shorter ones, but we'll do more of them. I think seeing how easy it is to do this, we can definitely pop on here more often. I don't know why we haven't done that in the past.
I know.
We did it in the beginning and just kind of after the show, we were so tired. We just needed a break.
You're over it. But, you know, you guys have given us a lot of suggestions on what kind of content you would like to see next year. We asked you guys that a couple days ago, and you came back with some really creative, invented things that we would like to talk about next year. And so we're going to get into that. Maybe we'll cover them on the lives. So yeah, looking forward to that. As far as the rest of the year goes, and next year...
We don't have anything planned yet.
Yeah, we don't have any more.
We have a few collaborations that we're going to finish out the year with, and then we're looking forward to 2019. We're excited. We hope that we can travel as much as we did this year.
Or more. I wouldn't be opposed to more.
Yeah, I think we know that kids are going to be coming up pretty quickly in our future, so we're going to try to get out as much of the traveling as we can. Because adoption or surrogacy or foster to adopt are things that we've been talking about. And I would say maybe we'll commit one more year to travel, and then after that, we'll see what happens. But
yeah, I would love that.
Somebody asked, what are you building on your new property by the river? So we had answered that earlier in this, but we're going to be hopefully starting that in the next couple of months. We're going to be building a cottage community and an event space for weddings. So we're super excited about that because it's a place for you guys to actually come and visit. And it's in a really fun small little bitty town. But there's a lot of, if you like outdoors, there's a lot of hiking trails. It's close to Chattanooga. It's an hour drive to Chattanooga. It's 3 hours to, no, 3.5 hours to Nashville. Maybe 2 hours to Atlanta from the land.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But anyways, we should probably hop off of here because this is going to be a long video people to have to watch.
I know.
But we enjoyed this, so we'll definitely do it again. And now that YouTube has stories, we'll be posting those daily. So
yeah,
we'll keep you updated, and we'll let you guys know next time that we're going to be on here, which I would say will be pretty soon.
Maybe next week. Who knows?
Somebody said I have to tell Thomas that he comes across and in a warm and as a warm and caring person. Don't undersell yourself. Love your dancing.
Aw, do I dance? I think you dance more than me. Maybe I'm just bad at dancing. I don't know. That was sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Very, very nice.
Okay, so we're going to save this live. So for those of you that are just joining, you can... So Trent, we'll save it so you can watch it from the beginning. But we'll be back on here, I'd say maybe next week sometime.
Yeah.
We'll start doing these more because we don't have the time to edit videos right now. But we do have time to sit down and just chat with you guys because we'd probably just be watching Netflix right now.
Right, exactly.
So, hope you guys enjoy your weekend, the rest of your weekend, and then the rest of your work week. And then maybe we'll see you guys next weekend right here.
Hope to see you guys. Otherwise, catch us on Instagram tomorrow morning. New post coming, new blog post coming. We'll see you.
Oh yeah, so we do come back tomorrow on Instagram because we do have a new blog post that we're excited about.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn this off now.
All right, good night, guys. Thanks for watching.